Well, I would categorically state at this point that there is nothing like an overlap, more like a collaborative effort. When I mean collaborative is, you see, in the power sector, it's a value chain. One person's work has to kickstart the next person's work. The other person's work has to kickstart the other one. So we cannot, the system does not permit you to work in silos. So yes, we have the enforcement and the corporate intelligence, and there are no overlapping duties, because the enforcement, like the name goes, they enforce, they are holistic. The corporate intelligence are some people would jokingly say they are the EFCC of the organization, and so they're always trying to check out if you are complying, if we're doing what our KPIs indicate, and they are quick to either call our attentions to areas we may not have identified. So it's a collaborative work. It's a collaborative work. Well, our responsibilities are such that we are in charge. My responsibility is more of coordinating the entire unit by way of monitoring. We come up with policies and plans on how to effectively monitor the meters, the PPMs, coordinate the activities of the PPM team. In terms of our basic responsibilities is, over the years, as area offices are developed, we are ensuring that the meters are tracked, because one of the fundamental challenges we may have had in the past is inability to track these meters. So most times you see meters appear and disappear. They come up and by, and the next maybe 2-3 months, 1 year, you don't see them again. They show up again because they are not accurately tracked. So our responsibilities involve tracking these meters, checking for bypasses, ensuring that they are aligned to a distribution transformer, which we call, yes, we all know as transformers, but in the sector we call it DTs, basically. If they are in the right feeders, if they are performing optimally, where needed, suggest and recommend replacement, ensure that the bills connecting to, moving from billing to PPM is properly done, and to also issue disconnection notices and follow through with enforcement to ensure that the customers have paid when they paid, and if they've been closed out, and how much was done with how much was paid. So our responsibilities are basically PPM. We take ownership. It's our meter, it's our baby, as a lot of people call us in the industry. PPMs are our baby, so everything that happens under PPM is under our purview. So that's basically our responsibility. Well, meter bypass, in the layman's language, is stealing. And when you steal, somebody say you face the law, and the law is very clear on it. There's a law that covers the electricity industry, the theft of electricity, and I think it's it's been there. It's just that people have not really noticed. There is the criminal code in the south and the penal code in the north. I think section 287 and of the penal code is explicit on electricity theft. You can go to jail, you can be locked up for between 1 to almost 5 years, and you still pay the penalty. So it's the amount you need to pay for the penalty. What's the well, the amount differs for the categories of meters. Yeah. So for single phase meters, your penalty, basic penalty, you see there's maintainer, there's administrative charge, there's the basic penalty, then there's what we call the loss of revenue. Before now, the loss of revenue was charged up to 6 months, but the government had looked at it and said some people would prefer paying loss of revenue. So to make it to discourage people more, we have the regulations have it that we can charge you as long as we think you have stolen our power.
So there is no specific amount that is.
The first basic amount for single phase meter is 50,000. That is basic. That's why I said it's basic amount. Then for 3 phase is 100,000. Then when we calculate the loss of revenue based on your load assessment at the point that you were caught, you can be made to pay as much as long as we think that you have been stealing our energy, as long as we can prove. That's what the law empowers us to do. Said it's you see, I would not I would not encourage these customers to start asking amounts to pay. Don't steal electricity.
Okay, that's just.
Don't steal electricity, because our case is a case of God's case. There's no appeal. Once you are caught, you face the law. That is the truth. And if it's being caught, you would definitely be caught. You might think you want to get away with it, but you cannot run away from it. I would encourage us. You know, the interesting thing is, it's not Kaduna Electric against you. We are all customers. Even as employees of Kaduna Electric, we also pay electricity charges. And so it's not like we don't feel what you feel. One of the advice I would give to our esteemed customers, the reason why we're in business is because of you customers, is this: pay your electricity bill. It is more honorable to pay for what you consume than to steal energy, because whatever you think you're doing is having a ripple effect on other customers, because what you steal is what somebody else will be punished for. Because for us as well, you know, we also pay bills, because we have what we call the market operators obligations, and these market operators obligations is the same way we have metered you, we have been metered. So, and there is no way we can even attempt to bypass it. So why would you bypass? So I will encourage you, ensure that you do not bypass your meter. And if you even see your neighbor bypassing the meter, it's your corporate, it's your responsibility to discourage such and report such, because the neighbor is not doing you any good. He's punishing you as well. If everybody stays within the confines of their ppm meters, there won't be need for bypass. And I'll tell you something. Why do people bypass? They bypass because they have intentions to cheat. Because if we go down memory lane, even when electricity charge was 7 naira or 4 naira per kilowatt hour, people were still bypassing. So it is not because of the increase in rates that makes people bypass, it's the intention to bypass. So I will encourage us, do not bypass your meters. The only thing is that use energy efficient equipment in your house. Do not always go for second-hand equipment, because some of these second-hand equipment we are receiving, they push them out of their own consumption from other climes because they were no longer energy efficient. And now we are collecting them, and we are now trying to use them and trying to beat the system. So I will encourage us as customers, as people who are in the same business of paying for electricity, and ensure and make sure that you manage your power consumption.